All right, guys, welcome back. So we're going to dive through some examples here of idea validation and talk through it in specific. So let's just dive into some of the examples I talked about in the last video, but details, okay? So first, we're going to jump over to this Kickstarter by Brandon Sanderson. He has a video here. He talks all about it. He wrote 4 secret novels during 2020 and 2021, okay? He didn't tell anybody. Nobody knew, but he has them done. So what he did is he set a goal of $1 million. Okay, if he reached $1 million in funding through his backers, then he was going to release the project. And this is basically a year of Sanderson. Enjoy books and swag boxes throughout 2023. So let's just look really quick. He goes through and explains it. So here are the kind of different levels and package. Okay, so rewards. So if you pledge $40, if you back with $40, you get quarterly books, the ebook. So you get, his 4 secret novels, you get one each quarter, ebook style. If you pledge $60, then you get the quarterly audiobooks and ebooks. Okay, so they add audiobook on top of that. If you do $160 plus shipping, then you'll get the quarterly books and premium hardcover. $220 quarterly books, all formats. So hardcovers, unsigned, quarterly audiobooks, quarterly ebooks. $360 is the year of Sanderson. You get quarterly ebooks and 8 swag boxes. Okay. Then $380, right? And on and on and on. He just keeps layering on until you get to, $500 for the year. You get all premium hardcovers, ebooks, swag boxes, audiobooks, and so forth. Okay. So he set a goal to get $1 million raised by March 31st. And look at this. As of today, $35 million has been backed. Now, the interesting thing about this is that he already wrote these. He explains it in the video, like he did it because it was his passion. It was his way of like working through the pandemic, but also exploring different creative styles of writing. Okay, cool. So he has a lot of fans. He is a very well-known author in this space, like I mentioned before. So he already did the work, and then he was doing the Kickstarter. Now, if he didn't do the Kickstarter, or if he didn't hit his 1 million, he probably would have gone the traditional publishing route and just secured a publisher and then gone that route and said, okay, we'll just do that. But instead he said, hey, what if I went direct to fans? And what if I created these different packages? And boom, 35 million record on Kickstarter. This is incredible, incredible work. Okay, great. Well, he has a big platform. We get it, but that is a really, really solid example. And you notice that the different packages that he put together are for different types of people. Maybe some just want the ebook. Like, I just want the ebook. That's it. But then he gives the availability by layering on. He doesn't do any extra work except the swag boxes, which his team will put together. But, all the way through here, he goes from $40 for just ebooks all the way up to $220 for getting all formats of the book, right? That is crazy value with pretty much no additional work. So he just has packaged these in such a way where he's letting each customer decide what they want and get what they want for the amount of money that they're willing to pay. So really, really, really cool. Okay, let's jump over to the SwitchPod. This is one I talked about in one of my last videos. Pat Flynn, another person that has a massive audience online, all about building things online, right? And earning money. So he came up with the SwitchPod idea. He did this with Richie Norton. And I think he was on Richie Norton's podcast, and he talks about this. I'm going to link to that podcast in this video because it talks about their process of going through an idea validation and things like that. Really, really fascinating, really good podcast episode. So I'll link to that below. But what they did is they set up a goal. It's now closed, right? This has been done for a while. Last updated January 2020. So what it was very simple. You get one SwitchPod. It's this, unique little tripod thing. Here you can kind of see the video. So you can hold it and then it turns into a tripod and it's just super fast and convenient, right? Okay, so they did a lot of idea validation around vloggers and people that film themselves and things like that. And this is what people wanted. Okay, so they said $79 and you get a SwitchPod, which means the future retail price is going to be $99. So you're going to save $20. So that's a good deal. If you pledge now, you get $20 off, which is pretty sweet. Their original goal was $100,000 and they hit $415,000. That's pretty dang good. Now they closed it. You could pledge more and get 2 and you'd get more money off. You could get a 5-pack. So if you have a team or you use a lot of these, right, on and on. So they have a number of different periods. This is funded from January to March, 60 days, end of January, 60 days, and they got $415,000 pledged. They took it, finished the product, and then sold it, and now they continue to sell it, right? You can go buy it today. But a great way of talking about idea validation, and very, very simple. This is a physical product. Brandon Sanderson's was more or less knowledge-based, right? It is a physical product in the fact that it's a book. They didn't have to do anything except use his talent to go, create something new. So I'll link again to that podcast below. You guys can check that out and listen to them talk about how they created the idea, how they vetted it, all the steps that went into it before actually really spending a lot of time and money to get it going. They validated first, okay? So those two are great examples. Like I talked about in the last video, I just want to show you the actual numbers. In the next one, I'm actually going to talk about this very course and how I went through this process on my own. So we will see you guys in the next video.
Test the idea, then grow the vision.